conduct themselves, and all those related matters. So all municipalities now in our province will adopt those bylaws, which simply means that there is a uniform approach across the province. You don't have a different bylaw in another municipality and next door is a different bylaw. So we have now accepted that draft gazette by the National Department of COCTA. It's going to all municipalities, going through the processes, and immediately after that will be adopted by the council meetings, and we have a uniform approach, which makes it easier for law enforcement agencies to then monitor and deal with law enforcement. The next resolution that we have taken is the registration of businesses. All businesses, especially those that are affecting the issue of our children, have to re-register afresh. So there is a uniform form. MEC Maile, who is the MEC responsible for economic development, is meeting with all MMCs, that is members of municipal council, executive councils, tomorrow, to then develop a template that will ensure that there's re-registration. And re-registration means exactly that, re-registration, especially those that have not registered their businesses in our communities. And that's the process that will also assist to empower those that wants to open or operate businesses, but they don't have the financial muscle or the facilities for them to run those businesses. So MEC Maile tomorrow with all the MMCs are meeting. They will then provide that template and that registration process. We are now formally, which is the next resolution that we've taken, formally calling for sectors that operate in this space of informal trading to meet with us. So we're going to have the executive mayors, MMCs, speakers, MECs, the premier. We're going to deploy ourselves in all communities to share the message that I was sharing with you, amplify the message, but also release a communication a strategy that we have just adopted. So the communication strategy will indicate areas of messaging, the target groups, and where we really believe we need to strengthen our intervention. So we've adopted that communication strategy, and now we've agreed that all the MECs, MMCs, executive mayors will be deployed in our communities to conduct community meetings. And in all those community meetings, we will meet with the stakeholders that are involved. This include your informal traders association, business forums, but our approach is to broaden the consultation to include community-based civic organizations, churches, taxi associations, and many institutions that wants to contribute on this subject. So we're going to have those mass meetings immediately after the councils have adopted the resolutions that we've spoken about. The last aspect, which is crucial now, it's law enforcement. Those that don't comply, we've given the mandate to law enforcement agencies to move with speed. There is a meeting of all law enforcement agencies every Tuesday. We'll have targeted raids, and we'll also close the shops that don't comply. But there's a process of closing those shops that will attend to and utilize the law enforcement agencies. So we've agreed then we'll meet every Saturday to take stock, and then we'll brief you on Sundays on the resolutions that we've taken, so that we follow this matter until we are dead sure that we don't have this situation arising in our communities. So this is what I call problem one on Spaza shop. Problem two is on water. We're having a serious problem of water in our province. We need to reduce the consumption of water immediately, or else the system will not be in a position to assist us to distribute water in our province. We met with the Minister of Water and Sanitation this morning. We started with the first municipality, which was Johannesburg. We gave Johannesburg the opportunity to present their intervention plan. They've done that. So we're meeting with Tshwane later this week, and Ekurhuleni, and the district municipalities. This is a serious, serious matter. The numbers that Rand Water and the national minister have given us are indicating that the interventions or restrictions that we've introduced thus far, they didn't have water for quite some time. We want to intervene, and that is why we need each and every municipality to give us a plan and adopt their plan and implement that plan. And also the law enforcement agencies to come on board to assist us on these matters. This is what we felt that we need to share with you. If you've got questions, all of us are here. We'll be in a position to respond to those questions. Can I leave it with you, Voya? No, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Premier. Thanks, colleagues. So, colleagues, let's just deal with the first set of questions. Just indicate who you are if you want to ask a question and the media house that you are coming from. Can I just check if the questions are clear? Slee, you're number one. Okay, let me start. You'll 1, 2, all. 1, 2. Is there none? Okay. No, you can ask, Mayor. Please proceed. Sorry, Mbali. So let's just wait for the.
We understand that there have been challenges. I mean, there have been some viral breaches by those running those businesses. What sort of repercussions are we going to see being then gazetted in the new bylaws?
Okay, thank you very much, Mbali. You can just please pass.
Hi, my name is Leila from Lesufi. I just wanted to know, in regards to the gazette that was referenced now from Proctor, how is that different from what has been done before? I mean, this is not the first time that we've had issues of closing down some Spaza shops, and the government has come up with other implementations to kind of curb the situation. But how is this gazette different from what has been done before? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That's about it. All right, you can respond, maybe, Premier. You can respond from there.
I think.
No, sorry, sound.
Oh. How's the sound?
Yeah, I think I need to go there because
okay.
the mics are there. But let me start with the repercussions, the areas that we've raised. We've coordinated the repercussions. I think there is a document. I will suggest that we release where's that bylaws document from COCTA, if we can release that. It explains the areas that we need to intervene and who need to intervene. It's not only provincial government. It's SARS, Department of Competition Commission, Department of Health, Department of Trade and Industry. It's all of us. That each and every institution is given a task on what to do. And that's where you will find the kind of actions that we need to do. But what we need to do now, which is immediate, we know the source that unfortunately is taking the lives of our children. We need to close that source. And to close that source, the Department of Health and Agriculture has been mandated to ensure that we remove the product from all the shops and institutions in our province. But secondly, unleash the law enforcement agencies to ensure compliance. And the law enforcement agencies are ready to intervene in that regard. They've given us how they've identified previous users and the warehouses and the wholesale shops that are going to be invaded or to be removed so that we don't have this challenge again. The other area of repercussion, obviously, is that if you are not registered, you can't operate now. So we are setting out the registration process, and means that you can't operate if you have not been properly registered. If municipalities adopt this gazette by the end of this month, from the 1st of December, we believe that there is a common approach across the province. I think that's what the Sowetan is asking what is different from what. What is different is that we now have a common approach. You don't have different bylaws in different municipalities, which is very important because it means that law enforcement agencies don't have to spend time to say, by the way, I'm in Ekurhuleni, what is the problem of Ekurhuleni? Or I'm in Tshwane. We now have a uniform approach across the province, which we have adopted, all of us, this afternoon. To me, or to us, it's very important because it means we are moving towards the same direction, all of us. And it's different on the basis that you can see it's no longer putting the burden only on local government. It's putting the burden on provincial government, national government, and other institutions that have been given this particular task. And that's the reason why we feel that the National Department of COCTA have assisted us in formulating these bylaws. But the last aspect is that we can make decisions, but if there's no law enforcement, all those decisions will be meaningless. And we are proud that the provincial commissioner outlined from their national meetings how they will intervene. Even though we are waiting for municipalities to take the resolution that we have adopted, law enforcement agencies are not prohibited to act as of tomorrow or this afternoon. So law enforcement agencies will deal with the laws that need to be attended and be respected as we speak. So we are not suspending any action on the basis that we are waiting for adoption of laws. Those adoption will strengthen our approach on all these issues that have been raised. But where we are, we feel that we've got a common approach. All mayors are here. We've got a common approach. All MMCs that are responsible for running businesses are here. We've got a common approach. All law enforcement agencies or MMC responsible for law enforcement agencies, they know as from tomorrow what is expected out of them. So there's no one that is confused now. And we can arrest the situation as soon as possible. 23 lost lives is too much. We don't want to add to that list. And that is why even health and education is there, because we've identified health and education as areas that need our immediate support so that they can protect us on these matters. I want to leave it there. I see the last hand at the back there. Unless want to add.
I understand that also there's also another issue that has been raised, especially in the Tanda, allegations that some operators
I think you're too close to the mic.
Okay. Yes, it is alleged that commercial owners were not.
You're about to kiss it, and I'm very worried.
Are terrorizing locals in some of the parts of the country, of the country. I don't know if the federal government is looking into that in terms of law enforcement.
Okay. Fortunately, the executive mayor of that municipality is Councillor Mlu. Do you want to respond to that aspect?
Thank you very much, Premier, and greetings to all and members of the media. Indeed, there was tension in Ratanda with regard to the murder of local shop owners, and that was attended to, and Lieutenant General Mtombeni also came in Ratanda. Public participation was done whilst MEC Masbo was still MEC, and that was arrested. There are no more killings that are happening in Ratanda. We regret what would have transpired, but the matter is settled, and we are looking forward to working with our local businesses, assisted by the legislation that we are going to enact as municipalities. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much, Executive Mayor. Can we take the last question if there is? Mbali?
We've had bylaws and documents such as the one that you're mentioning right now And in the past, there has been an accusation that municipalities have somewhat, or officials within the municipalities have dropped the ball in terms of enforcement of violence. What assurances do we have that this time around that these bylaws will be respected and enforced accordingly? Second question is, we have spoken to the Botswana president of Township Economic Commission, who has lamented the removal of the vendors at schools as affecting the township economy. How do you respond to that? Also, just speaking on the alleged victimization of the local South Africans at the hands of alleged Spaza shops, well, foreign-owned Spaza shops, who are targeting them and sometimes killing them, allegedly, in order to monopolize the Spaza shop industry. Do you not at some point think that this would require some form of protection of certain industries, because it looks as though this could be a threat to national security?
Well, I'll leave the last question to our provincial commissioner to respond. I just want to respond to the area of stakeholders. We want to emphasize that part. We want to consult all stakeholders. MEC Maile has been given that task to convene a session of all stakeholders. We don't want to superimpose our views. We're meeting as government, and now we've got a decision as government. We really believe that we need to take that decision to those that are operating in the sector so that we can meet them as a sector, so that they can be in a position to provide their input as well. And then we'll go to community meetings to allow communities to come in and provide guidance. The first one of previous bylaws, I'm looking at the executive mayors here, whether they want to come and respond on the bylaws that indeed they exist and indeed they're going to be enforced.
Now we'll enforce them.
Yeah, but go on, Brian.
I thought the Premier would just make it easy. It doesn't mean that we have not been enforcing bylaws, but on this particular topic in particular, it means we need to be more aggressive, ensure that we deal first with building control. This is what we need, because some of the spazas themselves do not comply as it relates to building control. So we are going to enforce the bylaws. Then we can enter all other issues related to enforcement of these bylaws. So we'll do our best. We need all the resources. You saw that we still have shortages there and there in terms of person power, but we think we'll do our best. Speaking on behalf, without a mandate, on behalf of all the municipalities.
Have a mandate, Commissioner. PC, do you want to deal with the law enforcement aspect of it?
Thank you very much, Premier, and greetings to the media houses, greetings to the viewers at home. I think on the main is the issue which Mbali have raised, which you cited a certain individual who lament on the removals of the foreign nationals in terms of what they are doing within our communities. Maybe key to that, Premier, is that we know for the fact that we have in the laws in this country. The fact remains is that we are, of course, having people who comes into this country in terms of the Immigration Act, like people who are having refugee status, people who are asylum seekers. If I can give the two examples of which is regulated by the immigration laws in terms of section 24 and 22, we have to take note that when we're having these people in the country, as and when they apply, I think the Premier have been clear on this one to say we'll have to take stock and make sure that there's a direction in terms of registration. when these people are in the country, we know for the fact that they can also apply to the issues of businesses, because we don't have like camps in this country where we're keeping people and the government is doing the feed. But what is important within the communities, with the help of the communities, we are, of course, on the ground. We get a lot of information related to what you have cited. I can relate to the issue relating to Naledi. We know for the fact that it was hyper high on the media in terms of some of the allegations which were not true, which we are, of course, dealing with that. We know for those pictures which were circulated for community carrying the LGM, you know, the rifle within that community. So we are working on those individuals. We know who are they, and we are glad that the community are providing the information. In an essence, where it's clearly that individuals, they are operating against the laws of the country, is up to the law enforcement to act precisely, and Premier will do exactly that in ensuring that the communities are and they feel safe.
Thank you so much, Provincial Commissioner. Voyo, I suspect that this brings us to the end of this interaction. If there are other forms of interactions, they know where to get you. We'll deal with it. Once more, I want to thank all the executives.